2, 1, and roll it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Brian G. Johnson here. So great to have you on this expert panel. We're talking traffic generation in 2014, and I wanted to ask some of my friends, some industry leaders when it comes to traffic generation, leveraging video, and specifically leveraging Hangouts for Air, which is accessible through YouTube or Google+. If you're not on Google+, you need to be. Check it out. So what we're going to talk about in this particular Hangout for the next 30 minutes or so, there's 0 viewers here, but sooner or later someone might come in, and this is good practice, is Zane is going to talk a little bit about how to leverage YouTube, and specifically how to leverage YouTube with advertising. And that's something I'm actually looking into myself. I created a few ads not too long ago. Lots of opportunity with YouTube and paid advertising. We had Justin here, Justin Sardi, another YouTube ad whiz, but he left. Priorities are important. His girlfriend walked in, and poof, he was gone. That's how it happens, folks. It's okay. We also have Brandy in the house. Brandy is a leading authority and expert when it comes to blue boxing. I got it all under control. When it comes to Google Hangouts, and welcome, Brandy. Good to have you here.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's fun. Fun to hang out.
And Zane, it's always a pleasure.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm having a great time being here. And, of course, anybody who jumps in right now, be sure to comment and let us know your thoughts as we go, because that always makes the conversation and broadcast that much more interesting. So, huzzah, right?
Huzzah. Indeed. So, Zane, I have it with you right now. We still have 0 viewers, but we will be able to replay the broadcast, and it's fun just talking with our homies, our peeps. So tell me, where do you see the industry going? What are you focused around? And how are you going to ensure that you're able to stay connected to people, drive traffic, and ultimately live the lifestyle that you enjoy?
Great questions. Actually, it's been on my mind since about 2008. I'm always looking for the new piece of technology, the new strategy or technique, and I personally believe it is AdWords for video and Google+. AdWords for video specifically, it's been around for a little while, but not a lot of people have been really, staying with it, right? Everybody's really, really excited about Facebook ads, and there's nothing wrong with Facebook ads. They're still really, really effective, but there's this whole huge, like when you say the elephant in the room, that's YouTube. I mean, 800 million users per month, probably more now. I mean, that statistic just keeps growing every day. So leveraging the ad platform on YouTube, which acts as a search engine by itself, is probably one of the smartest decisions that any marketer can follow moving forward in 2014. So right out of the gate, Brian, that's going to be my response. I also believe that it's that same ad platform that we can leverage and get new customers as well as consistent customers, because you're tapping into a targeted market, a place that's constantly refreshing new customers or potential customers every single month. So that's what I believe will help me get the traffic that I want this year so that I can live the lifestyle that I want, which is actually planning a bunch of trips throughout 2014 and mashing in the work where I have to.
Indeed. Well, the good news is we had a viewer and they left, but we did have a viewer. So the viewer is back. We have another viewer. So welcome to those people coming on board. It's nice to have you. We're talking traffic. In 2014, we're talking new ways, new strategies, thinking outside of the box. We've got Zane as well as Brandy. How do I pronounce your last name, Brandy?
Sweezy.
Sweezy. Okay, that's what I thought. But now that we're live, I have a chance. Zane, how long will you be able to be here today? Like how many minutes? Don't tell me a time because we got these time zones. My brain can't handle it. Honestly.
Oh no, I'm good for a good 30, 40 minutes myself.
Okay, and Brandy, how about you?
Yeah, I'll be here for 30 minutes, 27 minutes.
27 more minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Brandy, I want to introduce you. So, folks, if you don't know, Brandy has been really engaged on the social media sites. She does a really good job with branding. That's something I want to talk about towards the end of the presentation today, I also want to talk about social media, and I want to talk about big picture as we move forward. And I noticed Brandy right away as someone that is leveraging social media, and specifically Hangouts for Air. So Brandy, you know, the same question: how are you going to be able to continue to drive traffic to get noticed in a busy, noisy internet world moving forward in 2014, and to ultimately allow yourself to move forward and get the kind of results that we all want?
Yeah, I think that, you know, Hangouts, I kind of fell into them. I really tripped into them, and you know, my spiel is, you know, blogging brought about transparency. Then we did teleseminars where we heard people's tonality, so we felt like we knew them more. Then we had the GoToWebinar, so we had visuals and tonality, so we were able to even bond with them more. And then the onset of video marketing. But what happened was, with video marketing, people really upped their game with video marketing and intros and outros and jump cuts. And so you pretty much broaden the empathy gap, because the people that you're trying to serve want to know that, you know, you have the same, you know, you're still trying to push and get your hustle and learn new stuff. So I really thought, you know, the psychology of Hangouts is really closing that empathy gap. So we don't have any viewers, we're just kind of hanging out, but who knows how many people will watch afterward, you know, depending on what we titled it, how much is being shared around social media. Then on top of that, if you look at Hangouts as really YouTube marketing on nitrous. And then I'm excited that Zane's here, because I want to hear his viewpoint on how YouTube AdWords are going to even complement further Hangouts, because what was making Hangouts so awesome was you could rank a video before a Hangout before you even push start broadcast. I've done that several times, and a lot of my clients have done that as well. So you have this unlimited YouTube content. You can rank your video before you ever even push start broadcast, and your content's live. But if you actually think it through just a little bit business-wise and put a little bit of strategy in it, your reach becomes far broader than you could have paid for that traffic. And not to downplay AdWords, you know what I mean? But just in making that simple effort. And then on top of that, I'm excited that Zane's here to hear what that next phase is. And that's really where I see Hangouts is the opportunity to really create unlimited content and really engage with your audience on a much deeper level. People feel like they know you if they see you on a Hangout.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you, one of the things that has been huge for me is getting out and leveraging video. I have over 1.5 million video views across 3 video channels, and you know, video allows people a chance to connect with us individually. And what's really neat today is the technologies are getting dumbed down. It's really pretty darn easy to create video that gets results. Number 2, you know, today we're leveraging Google Hangouts, and I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I asked a few friends just to guide me along. And it's just, you know, moving forward, pushing past that fear, and so on. So this is what I think we should do, just to try to have some kind of a semblance of organization. Brandy, let's lead it off with you. Let's talk about how people themselves can get started easily with using Google Hangouts to move forward, and if they're interested, how they can take it to the next level and start using Google Hangouts for other people, like you mentioned. And then, Zane, I'll turn it over to you then after we've had some time with Brandy, and we'll talk about AdWords for YouTube, AdWords for video views. It's really exciting, guys. This is something I'm personally looking into, and I'm looking into doing all of these things in a big picture kind of way. I'm going to talk about Kindle a little bit today. I'm going to talk about using video. I'm going to talk about Google Hangouts, and really how to leverage a lot of different technologies easily to drive traffic. So I'll wrap up with that, but Zane will go with you second, and then I'll wrap things up. How does that sound, guys? And we do have a few viewers here, so if you are watching live, thanks for joining us. It's nice to have you here. I'm going to be doing more of these, perhaps. You know, there's no guarantees, but it's something I'm very interested in, and I love the ability to get feedback from my audience. So this is a really wonderful platform that will allow me to do that. So Brandy, I'm going to ask you again, how can people easily get started with using Google Plus and specifically Hangouts, and how can that help them to drive more business?
Well, I will state that Zane is our resident G plus expert on this call. I will not position myself as a G plus expert. I tell everybody go to Zane if you really want to learn G plus, and I really do believe that everybody should be learning it. I'm more of a Hangout marketing expert, so it's more about taking your Hangout to your audience instead of dragging your audience unwillingly to a platform that they're unfamiliar with. So that's really a big portion of it. I think that there are many ways that you could profit, as a real estate agent, as to build authority, to sell product, to just engage and become closer with your audience, are all different ways that you can do it. I think doing what you're doing today, whereas we're just sharing information and just bonding with your audience and saying, hey, we have this information we'd like to share with you, and that is to me, that's the best way. And because the technology is there, you can do it with just your basic, laptop webcam, your iPhone headset, and you're good to go. You don't need a lot of high-tech stuff. And just like you're experiencing, you might get 1 or 2 viewers on your first few Hangouts. Don't be discouraged by external validation. It is, about consistent effort over time, as with anything in marketing. So it's better to just get in there and do like what you're doing. You're banging around, you're making a couple of mistakes,
Absolutely.
But you're just going with it. So you're humanizing your brand,
Yeah, Brandy, I think I said Google Plus, and I meant Google Hangouts. So one of the things you meant is tell us about the setup that you're using right now. Give people a real simple breakdown of what Google Hangouts are. Gosh, Google Plus, Google Hangouts. It's like they're trying to take over the interwebs, those Google people. So
yeah.
Give us a simple breakdown. What are you using to be able to film yourself and for us to hear you with your microphone? What kind of setup do you have right now?
My current setup, when I first started Hangouts, it was just my iPhone headset and my webcam. Then right now I have the Logitech C920. It's under $100. It might be $70. We all use it. I don't know anybody who doesn't use it. It's great because my vanity dictates that my camera be a little bit higher so you don't see this. So I like that. It's HD, so I can be a little bit off of the camera. I'm a firm believer in use what you have, so I use my Snowball for a microphone, which I happen to have for Skype. There you go. Zane and I use the exact same stuff, right? Yeah. And today I got no backdrop. I just got the couch. Sometimes I'll have a collapsible white backdrop or a collapsible black backdrop if I want to. I do have 2 softboxes on because the lighting right now in my place is not good for good lighting. So you want good lighting and you want good audio, I think. And then I just use my headset and I hide my headset behind my 80s hair so it looks kind of professional.
I see that.
Yeah. So I just stick it in behind my ear because I'm not going to wear, I don't have cool hair like Zane does, so my hair would look all kinds of jacked up if I wore a headset like that. So my vanity dictates that I hide my headset a little bit. So yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Okay,
so that's all.
awesome.
That's all I use.
Those are all really good tips, and I'll tell you, for me personally, if you've got a MacBook, you can kind of just open the thing up, turn it on, click a few buttons, and it works pretty darn well. I do want to mention we do have 4 viewers now. Welcome. We're talking with some industry leaders. Brian G. Johnson here. Brandy Sweezy is with us talking Google Hangouts, and we have my friend Zane Miller, who also Google Hangouts, Google Plus, YouTube nerd, and all-around kind of good guy. And we're just talking about how to leverage technologies today to drive traffic. So really great information, Brandy. Let me ask you another question. I just want to add one more thing. So like I said, as far as lighting goes, one of the things you can do is you can take an analysis of your property. And this is something that takes a bit of time unless you really stop and say, okay, I need to understand the rooms that I live in and the lighting they provide. Now, I've been actually creating some amazing high-quality videos with no fancy lighting. I record on my iPhone 5S. I plug in an external mic, and I need to blue box myself, but that's what we're getting there. I use an external mic straight into my iPhone, and then I can just upload the video through my phone using a little app straight to my Mac, and it looks awesome because the room I film in faces north, so there's no direct sunlight that comes in, but the room is lit up very well. So you can just take, what's the word I'm looking for? Analysis isn't quite right, but you can just basically, Find the best room with the best natural lighting. I don't have any fancy lights right now, and it seems like the picture is okay. It's a little dark, but not too bad. So we talked a little bit about technology. We talked about how to use Google Hangouts, and again, it's video. You can ask questions. And Zane, are you able to man the questions?
I am actually. I have been manning them over here, and we've got a couple people very excited to be here. Eleanor just got here also.
Oh, awesome! Can we?
I went ahead and shot her.
Eleanor's able to be in the thingy, but
I went ahead and sent her the link.
Oh, awesome! So maybe she'll be bouncing in too.
Yeah, she might be bouncing in, and we got a couple of questions here. Just want to let you guys, do the exchange, right?
Yeah. So we'll take questions depending on time as we move forward here, maybe in the next 30 minutes. So we talked a little bit about, and I'm still on, or no? Yes, there's Brandy. Okay, so let's get a couple more questions in for Brandy. So we talked about, technology. We talked about it doesn't have to be super expensive. You're using like a $100 HD webcam. It's nice. It gives you a chance to set up kind of a shot that you like. It doesn't have to be super close. Let's talk a little bit about how anybody can apply Google Hangouts based on their business. Think local, think internet marketer, think affiliate marketer, and I'll ask, once you're done, I'm going to turn that question back to Zane because I know some of the things he's done, and it's really powerful. So take it away, Brandy. How can this be applied regardless of what you're doing in your internet marketing?
Well, I think it's brilliant. We talked about it a little bit, and being able to rank your YouTube videos, your Hangouts, which are technically YouTube videos, just streaming live to YouTube right now. So you're able to rank higher. So if you're a local marketer, you can go around and offer your services to local marketers. And I tell people this all the time, get a little hotspot and go and just film a couple little businesses and then just show them the results and then come back and you can offer your services. Internet marketers, I was on the bleeding edge. Well, Zane and I were on the bleeding edge last year talking to internet marketers about Hangouts, because they didn't feel like you had the control. And so you can, embed it on your website, and so you have a certain amount of control. There's all kinds of programs out there now, Webinar Jam and Easy Webinar plugin. There's several different ones out there that will give you even more control of the registration process and the follow-up and that kind of stuff. And again, this goes back to not, any good speaker is not slide dependent. So we don't have to get on here and do a whole slide deck to share the information. I can look you in the eye, the audience sees me, we're talking, we're sharing information without being so slide dependent. So it's a much more casual and easier way to engage with your audience. Web shows, summits, I've done several summits as a producer. One of my roles is as a Hangout producer. Summits, I think, are going to take over Hangouts pretty rapidly. I think they're really getting it. You can also take your Hangouts and repurpose that content, have it transcribed, turn into a blog post, rip the audio, have that on a podcast. You just do a couple of little extra steps and you have one effort that could be spread across every channel. And then also, like I said, as a producer, I get paid to produce shows, with my clients, where I go in and we talk strategy, and then we design how that's going to go down, and then I actually am on with them, kind of what Zane's doing for you today, where I'm moderating comments, making sure the person can just be hands off, and then my product is teaching people how to do that as well. So
that's awesome, Brandy.
I think there's like an infinite number, but that's a few of them, the obvious ones.
Indeed, and you're, again, Brandy, what you do so well is brand yourself. You're on the social media sites. You're making yourself known, and basically Google Hangouts came out, and you basically gave yourself an opportunity to get in early, get in on the ground floor, and you've actually hosted some really big names. Name a few. Let's name drop because. We can, and it's fun. So just go ahead and name drop, please.
Name drop. I think my biggest one this year was Jordan Belfort, the guy The Wolf of Wall Street was about. So I did his hangout. That was fun. Social Media Examiner. Actually, it was that Zane. Like, who's pushing that button? Zane is, of course. Yeah, that was my biggest one. Social Media Examiner with Mari Smith was on that one. David Siteman Garland got him started on Hangouts.
That's
James
awesome.
Wedmore. Yeah, Yeah, there's been a lot of people, like famous in their own right, but Jordan would be the most known to the average person. Yeah.
And generally a warm and loving man, and it's so good that you had the opportunity to spend time with him.
Yeah.
So, guys, we also have Eleanor Pryor here. Eleanor, it's great to have you here. I'll just, give you the power, and you're on. So, Eleanor, we're talking today a little bit about how to drive traffic, how to get noticed in a busy internet marketing world, and how to, really leverage technologies. That's what we're talking. What is your take on that?
My take on that is that I just got home, so I was just kind of listening. I wasn't expecting you to just throw me on in there.
That was my bad. I thought you wanted to be in the hangout.
Oh no, I did want to be in the hangout. I just was kind of getting.
I misinterpreted. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No, you didn't. So it wasn't you. It was me. I was just like, give me my link already. Let me in. So I don't have an answer to that question for you because I just came from a playground full of kids picking up my 9-year-old.
I understand completely. Okay, well, if you want to jump in, just maybe give me the bat signal, which if you just go like this, okay, and then if you do that, I'll know.
The bat signal?
Yeah, that for this webinar, chat, Google Hangout thingy, that will be the signal, and I'll let you jump in. So really what we're doing is just,
some of the stuff that...
You said something?
Did you go side? Yeah, I was just going to say some of the stuff that Brandy had said with how she thinks that the Hangouts and the people with seminars or virtual events are going to gravitate to the Google Hangouts because it is less expensive and easy to do, and it's a lot of fun. And I've done my own virtual event, and then I also helped somebody recently with there too. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm so excited that you just like all geeked about them right now.
Well, I'm basically geeked on, just taking over the interwebs one step at a time using any technology that's available to me. So I'm doing my thing, and my thing, one of the things I talk about often is just moving forward when you're ready, focusing and prioritizing. And I see a lot of people in a lot of stuff getting nowhere. So, you asked me about Twitter, and you made some smirky, snarky remark. Do you know what I'm talking about right now?
No. Yes, I know what you're talking about. I wasn't the extremely snarky one. There was two of us that were ganging up on you because we were at an event. And
Indeed.
My first love has always been Twitter. So when I'm at an event, I just want to tweet. And it was your turn to speak, and that was my way of giving link love. But I don't remember being totally snarky about it. I mean, you may have been a bit of a... But I had a partner in crime there that was there with me.
Yes.
That was trying to help drive the point
home. Who was that other individual? Help me, remind me.
Holly is her first name.
Okay, I guess so. Anyway, well,
I'm gonna go find out who it is. I'll tell you who it is.
I'm just teasing you, and at the time, so this was 2010. I mean, just to kind of bring it around, this was 2010. I didn't have a Twitter account. I kind of have one now, and I probably will move forward with it. But I did have a list of thousands of people. I had hundreds of YouTube videos working for me. I had a blog ranking, and I really don't move forward until I'm in a position where I know what I did in the past is working for me, and that's why I'm kind of interested in this now. We got all kinds of chat messages, so let's turn it over to Brother Zane. Zane, in fact, before I do, I'll put it on me. I'll blue box me because I'm learning about the new technologies right now. I'll ask you the question. So we heard a little bit from Brandy. We talked about the technologies. We talked about that it's easy. You can use a MacBook. It's got all the stuff built in. You can buy a $100 webcam. We talked about how to apply Google Hangouts. No matter what you're doing, if you're doing local, you can use Google Hangouts. If you're trying to build a list, you could use Google Hangouts. If you want to make an affiliate sale, you can use Google Hangouts. It's video, it's powerful, and I want to ask you now, Zane, what did you do specifically, and think about the thing you did with Jason that we talked about on the webinar, and taking a kind of tired model, that was the interview model, and how you put your spin on it and the results that you got using Google Hangouts. And you're on, brother man.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. No, by the way, I just also sent Lisa the link, so she should be popping in here pretty soon. But what I ended up doing with Jason was the first thing that I heard in internet marketing ever was, go and interview smart marketers or well-known marketers, and then you establish authority. And I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard it time and time again. This is the classic interview model, and I just heard it over the years and over and over and over again, actually running into very well-known marketers at events and hearing them go, man, there's always people, they just want to interview me, and they don't, like, it helps them more than the person being interviewed. So, it was one of those things that was hard to say yes to. So I didn't want to deal with any of that. I also didn't want to deal with the terrible rejection that comes with that. So I was like, well, what would make them want to have me interview them? Well, if they're working on their product and that's all they've been working on for however long, then it's going to be easy for them to talk about. It's going to be easy for them to say, yes, let's go ahead and talk about this. And it will be easy for me to say, listen, since I'm doing this for you, I want to use my affiliate link on this YouTube video. Right? So I did it before, but before Hangouts even came into the picture, I would actually just use Skype and record it through like a screen recording software, and then upload that video to YouTube. And no one else wanted to do it because it took way too long. But it was really effective. So when Hangouts came around, I went, here we go. And so I just used the Hangouts, and Hangouts just automated so much of it that by the time I started getting a little bit better at it, I hit up Jason Fladlin in this group. Well, I just mentioned in this group, I said, hey, if you've got a product or anything that you want to promote, let me interview you, and we'll do it through Hangouts, and I'll even teach you about Hangouts while we're at it. Why not, right? So of course, Jason, he got his ideas in his head going, well, wait, we can definitely do something with this. And so we did an interview, and I interviewed him about a product called Domain Clout, and I didn't do a whole lot of work. I did the interview and went through the very simple questions, basically focused on the product, and then said, all right, here's the affiliate link. And Jason did most of the work because it's his product, but he had all the great information that made people go, wow, yeah, this is a really great interview. I actually want to buy this product, because you're getting unfiltered, raw feedback from these people, from these product creators, because they're in a live hangout on air. We actually touched on that a little bit earlier about how raw and relevant this is, and there's just some things that a live experience captures that a regular, produced video, pre-production, post-production, all that fun stuff that you would put on YouTube. So it was the natural, organic YouTube that we all know and love, combined with this live event, got people just super excited and really, really engaged with you, and that's what made Jason go, hey, we should actually move forward and make a product out of this. And as you guys know, the rest is history. It was Tube Method and then now Plus Method, and here we are. I feel like I've been ranting for a while. Whew.
No, you've been doing good, buddy. I mean, the whole idea is just to come on and share ideas on how anybody can use the strategies and tactics and the technologies that are available to us as marketers to continue to push the envelope, and you did that so well. I want to spend actually, you say kind of just going on about this, but I want to make sure people really get it. I want to slow down for a minute. I'm going to ask you a couple more questions, Zane. Let's just spend a couple more minutes on it. So number one, the whole idea is that people are getting started in internet marketing, specifically in the internet marketing niche. Now, I'm sure this would work in other niche markets, but it works incredibly well in internet marketing. And the idea is that you're trying to gain notoriety. You're trying to drive traffic. You're trying to ultimately, capture people's attention. And that's something it's very rare online to be, when people are paying attention, you want to deliver on that. And this model came out, just approach product creators because they really want to get the message out. They've been working on something for a long time, and because of that, they're going to want to promote. However, after it had been gone and passed through to product creator again and again, and so many people jumped on this train, it had been used time and time again. And I'll be honest with you too, a lot of people are really bad at the whole kind of, will you do an audio interview with me? It's like they're not that great at interviewing people. They don't have a lot to say. And so it kind of became, that was big for 6 months. It wasn't. Now you basically leveraged the chats in Google Hangouts to do this live, and the results have been tremendous. And like you said, literally the thing that you want to think about is that it's live, and you have a chance to invite your tribe, your following, your subscribers to participate, ask questions, learn about this, and you used Google Hangouts, and the results were wicked. So when you got started with Jason, Zane, give me 2 or 3 tips that someone else can use to duplicate this quickly and easily. Let's just break it down. What do people need? What do they need to do? How do they get started?
Now let's go ahead and put the let's just talk marketing and strategy. Let's push the hardware stuff out of the way for just a second and just focus more on the marketing stuff, because we can go ad nauseum with the hardware stuff. But when it comes right down to it, as far as the marketing angle goes, like what I did with Jason, I was just willing to point the camera in front of somebody. And in fact, John brings up a good point here. He says, I'm an experienced marketer, but I'm still a newbie when it comes to Hangouts. How do I start? And I gotta say, you gotta do exactly what Brian said. You gotta find a friend. You gotta find anybody. You don't have to find a friend. Actually, you can just start a Hangout by yourself, and it won't broadcast live. You can set it to where you don't broadcast to other people, and you can just play around with the tools. And I recommend always having another person in there with you. Then you get comfortable with it. That's the most important thing. I mean, there's even people like, what software do you recommend? Because there's apps and third-party software and stuff. Don't worry about it. Just get comfortable with the core tool first by messing around. I mean, like Brian didn't know anything about Hangouts before he jumped in and just said, all right, we're just going to go without a net and see how it goes from here. And
boom, baby.
That's working pretty well, man. I'm digging it, right?
Working okay, and last time it didn't work. And I'm so glad you touched on that. So that question was from Tony, is that right?
It was from John Schwartz.
John, okay, so really good, and it's funny. I went out for a walk today, and I'm walking, and I'm thinking about just all the things that stop marketers, right? And it's kind of based in fear, and I kind of came up with some thoughts that were really simple, but yet really powerful at the same time. And this is how it goes. It's pretty damn simple. Everything is incredibly scary and difficult when you're not doing it, because you ain't doing it. You're just thinking about it. Holy shit, what's gonna happen? We're on a little video here. Ain't no big thing. Isn't gonna be the end of the world. When I used to be a chef, we'd be knee deep in the weeds, busy as crap, right? And tickets are flying everywhere, and I'm like telling the guys to wipe my brow like I'm a doctor. And sometimes I would turn to them and I'd look at them and I'd go, just thank God we're not brain surgeons, because someone could die on our table today. And that would kind of break the ice, and we would all move forward. So the thing I would recommend that you do, if this sounds like something you want to move into, is understand that there is a shit ton to learn. Okay? When I started figuring out SEO, if I ask you, what does Matt Cutts say about on-page factors, how many are there? Anybody want to answer that? Like 100, okay? So what if you created a list of 100 things that you might want to, take note of as you're publishing to your blog, and then you get a great post ready for your subscribers and visitors, and then you try to put this blog post through a checklist of 100 things. It'll drive you nuts. Or you can say, okay, I want to do Google Hangouts. There's going to be a lot to learn. I know that going in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it stupid simple. I'm going to focus on the most important stuff, and as I get comfortable, I'm going to add new stuff in. So when I do video, I just started doing video again, and super simple, not a lot of fancy transitions, not a lot of fancy software, just simple. And then I keep progressing. So that's a really good tip that you gave us, Zane, on just how to get started and just keep things simple. Zane, I put it back on you, dude.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Cool. So I mean, that's the most important thing, right? Keep it simple and just get started. I mean, it's a little intense, but I've done this tons and tons of times with other people, with other marketers, and sat down and said, listen, just I'm going to send you a link, okay, and you're going to be pulled into the Hangout. And at first, yes, it's a little scary and intimidating, but when there's another person there, hey, it's fine. So just get over that fear and just jump in, because no one's going to see it until you decide that they're going to see it, all right? So get comfortable with the tool. Once you are comfortable with the tool, and I'm not saying spend 6 months mastering the arts of Hangout.
No way.
Right? Spend a day maybe. Because we're also I mean, there's a bunch of people in here in this Hangout who have said that I don't know anything about Hangouts, but here we are. So you're over that. The next thing you want to do once you're over that is that you need to start approaching other people, right? Now, yes, you can just flip on the Hangout or flip on the camera and just start talking, but it's better when you have more people, because you can actually you can amass more people to the live Hangout by getting a combined effort. So what I would recommend, similar to how what Brandy was mentioning, is reaching out to business owners, other entrepreneurs, because seriously, you send any entrepreneur this link and you go, just check this out, okay? Just click on the link, and they're pulled in the Hangout. They're like, whoa, why aren't people using this more often? It's really, really, really simple. Once you understand it, the process to get those people, because you're showing them a really amazing tool, and that does most of the work. So keeping it simple on that, and then at that point, all you're doing is saying, okay, well, in my experience, the best thing to do is to start with one show. And then we see how that show goes, and then we build on that, and we build on that. And again, keeping it simple, you just start with one show. Just one show, let's just see how it goes, and then after the broadcast is over, you have a chat and see where it goes from there. And it doesn't get any more complicated than that.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your ideas, Zane, and you really gave us a great model. And the one thing, and Lisa, it's great to have you here. I'll give you a chance to share some ideas with us as we move forward. Zane, we talked about traffic, and video is so incredibly powerful. I really kind of, when we started talking this year, you're like, you used to do video, and I almost kind of feel like I've always done video. But when I really look at it, I've uploaded a lot of screen captures, and I haven't really done video per se like I did 3 or 4 years ago. But I do webinars, and I do all kinds of live things. And anytime you can kind of connect with a human being on a deeper level, you're going to be able to make your business grow. If someone's on a blog, they're reading. If someone's watching a video, they can hear, they can see, they can get a sense of a person's personality. This is the TV generation, so it's super, super powerful. And basically, video ranks so darn easy, so that's really, really cool. Lisa, so basically, the format, what we're doing is we're just kind of sharing some ideas that we feel are important in 2014 when we're thinking about driving traffic, staying ahead of the game in internet marketing, getting people's attention, because it's so hard to get people's attention in 2014. It's incredibly noisy internet space that we compete in, and one of the things I like to think is, when you email someone, you're ultimately bugging them, or you're adding value. So this is a chance where we have people's attention, and I'm trying to share some ideas on how to drive traffic. I'm going to talk a little bit about big picture branding, Kindle, what I'm doing with Kindle Video. What kind of stuff have you been doing? What's important to you right now? How are you trying to kind of continue to build your business in 2014?
Me personally?
You're the only Lisa
hear
here. Yes, I can.
Well, I really think
everyone, this is like, the gladiator ring, and if you show up, then you're in the gladiator ring. So, if you don't want to share that.
This is the first time that I have ever done.
Yeah,
this is the first time that I have ever been on a Hangout or participated in one or even looked at one, to be quite honest. And if Brandy was here, she'd probably have my ass for that. So it's probably a good thing that she left, because she she'd be really, really mad at me if she knew that. But I think that more than ever, it's relationships. And what I find with a lot of my newer students is that they don't understand that they can't do internet marketing in a vacuum. And they really think that they're going to come up with some business idea, and they're only going to need to do that one thing, and they're not going to creating the relationships with colleagues and affiliates, and it doesn't even occur to them that that's even a thing. And so a lot of them are really, really kind of nonplussed when it comes to me telling them, okay, now I want you to go out and find 30 people in your niche, and I want you to contact them and talk to them. And they're like, well, wait, what? Yeah, go and do that. And I think that this whole Hangouts thing really, really ties in very, very nicely to creating the relationships because it is so interactive. Mm-hmm. And especially if you're teaching people, and really right now that's my focus. I think especially when you're teaching people, you have to kind of throw them into the ring. They don't like it, but that's what they're paying you for, is to make them do things that puts them out of their comfort level. So my focus really, really this year is creating and strengthening the relationships with my colleagues and with my customers, because it's the only way. It's the only way you're going to have any longevity.
Yeah, no kidding. That's really awesome, Lisa, and congratulations. It's my first Google Hangouts as well. We're flying without a net today. This is the Gladiator ring, like I mentioned, and it's all about just saying, screw it, I'm going to try, and what's the worst thing that can happen? And I've been doing this a long time, and if things blow up, well, who cares? They'll be tomorrow, and I'll probably learn something from it. And so, I kind of just threw you in there. You said you wanted to hang out and join, and so I wanted to include you. And I'm so glad I did, because you brought up something that I think a lot of people, when they're getting started, they're under this notion that, well, first of all, shit's going to be slick. I mean, see, the thing is I'm going to get me my $19 software, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to hook it up to the internet, and then there's these pipes, right? And then it sends these things through the pipes, and then people will buy and spend money. That was like 1987, and it worked for a while, kind of. It's really about establishing relationships. It's really about being who you are and adding value to people's lives. And you cannot add value if you're trying to do this in an anonymous way. And this is, I think, kind of the crux and the heart of what you're getting to. It's about, branching out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And developing relationships, whether it's someone that might frequent a blog now and then, someone that you might run across on Facebook or Google+, a subscriber on YouTube. It's all about subscriptions, connecting with human beings, and adding value to people's lives. And is it cliche? Without a doubt, because it's so important that that's what everybody talks about. And if you're not doing it, then it doesn't matter. And it's so funny. Like literally today, I spent 3 hours writing this crazy book, and I'm in this chapter right now about different kind of anchor blog posts where we can create this content in all these different ways. And I talked about Google Hangouts, and I talked about the Skype interviews, and I talked about all these different things, and it's about like adding that value and building those relationships. So I'm glad that you had a chance to share that, Lisa. How are we good on time, everybody? I don't want to. We've been going about 60 or 70 minutes. Zane, how about you, buddy?
I'm good, my friend. I am definitely having a great time with this chat.
All right. Well, here's what I want to do. I want to try pushing some of these buttons to see if I can break some.
I like it.
We're going to go into screen
I've been doing a little bit of that too.
I got the name for you. It was Holly Coleman.
Holly.
It was Holly Coleman, the other one that was
Your
busting
partner
your
in crime.
chops. Yeah, she.
Oh, Holly.
Yes, Holly
What's her?
Coleman.
Yeah.
She was in
Holly,
California.
sweet,
Now
nice
she's on the
Holly
East.
that has all these nice things to say about me now.
Hey, you're kind of endearing. I mean, I forgave you about the whole not knowing what to do with Twitter. Okay. I mean, so you're okay in my book. It's
Anyway.
all right.
All right, that's right. It was Holly. I was trying to remember. It's like I kind of knew too because I remember that crowd very well. How do I screen share, Zane? I'm clicking the button.
Yeah. So over on the left, the little green monitor underneath the chat box.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that right now.
When you click on that, it'll open up another window, and that window you have to choose which window you want to share from.
I've got them open, buddy. Thank you very much. I've got 2 of them now. I have desktop and okay, so I'm going to go to desktop. So this is how you learn, gang. You just try it, and it's going to be messy. And how do I? Or wait a minute, I don't want to see that now, do I? I just want to open up my browser.
Yeah.
Or else I'm going to, and it's still. Let me go on to Chrome.
Yeah.
Okay, because maybe I can make Chrome work better.
Are you in Chrome?
Do Hangouts?
Go ahead, Lisa.
Oh, I was going to actually just ask. I was going to say, do Google Hangouts actually work better in Chrome?
Yes. Most definitely.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, what I want to share now is a little bit about branding, and this is really a concept that took a long time for me to learn and understand the power of. And one of the things I mentioned early was attention, and grabbing people's attention online and holding it. And basically, when someone gives you their attention, it's the most precious thing that you can ever ask for as a marketer. And you basically have an opportunity to capitalize on that or not. When you email somebody, if you build a list, which you should be doing, you're basically kind of interrupting and taking somebody off, or you're adding value. And branding is really just standing out, creating your own persona, and having kind of congruency across social platforms. So, one of the things I've been doing this year, and I'm going to go to my website. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And again, I'm kind of thinking, this is also for the people that will watch this recorded, and it'll be fun to see what happens with the recording here. So, this is a site that I launched about 2 years ago. And when I launched this site, I was kind of all done with the whole, and this is, again, kind of like all of a sudden I get this pop-up, and this is just, leveraging social sites, leveraging Facebook, and so on. And this is what I want to talk about for the next 10 or 15 minutes. So I launched a site 2 years ago, and it was kind of like all the loopholes are officially closed up. You can spend time on something that might work for a month or two, and in the process, you might be able to earn a ton of money. But at the same time, if you don't build something long term, that will eventually go away, and when it does, you'll be back at zero, right? You'll be back building again from start point 0. So I launched this site, and it was all just about, I'm going to add great content. I'm going to truly try to help and provide value for people. And I started building this site, and it was really kind of like, I'm going to build this site, add content when I can. I've gone for 2, 3, 4 months without adding content. I've added a ton of content when I have time. And it's just this little thing that runs off over on the side. And now I'm basically like starting to hook up a Facebook fan page. So I'm going to go to Facebook. And I might have to log in. I wonder if I'll be logged in. Oh, darn it all. Let me see if I can. I got it on my Robo form. For some reason, when I try to, I can't get up another window, Zane, in Firefox.
Okay? So you have Firefox. Can you do like a right click? I don't know how to do a right click on your
New window. There we
There
go.
you go. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We can go back to Firefox, which doesn't work as well, but I'm not real good at following the rules anyway, so that'll be just fine. So I started off with Marketing Easy Street, and I started adding some content, and after a while, look at all the links. This sucker is getting so powerful, and it's really kind of neat. And this is kind of like my pet project for this year, and that is branding, leveraging this site to build a list, and then also basically leveraging other technologies in what I like to call the big sites. So what are the big sites? Well, Amazon. Okay, so Amazon.com. I'm going to open up another. I'm going to see if I can just crash things by opening up a myriad plethora of windows. So I'm
I like
on
where your head's at.
Amazon. Also YouTube. So let's go back over now to YouTube.com. What else have I got going? I've got some stuff happening on Google Plus, and I'm going to try to spend 5 or 10 minutes and give people like the quick, down and dirty, what I'm doing to really make it happen this year, and hopefully people will find this to be helpful. So, okay, so Marketing Easy Street. Here's the site, and one of the things that my plan for this year was really just try to copy what is working for those at the highest level. So one of the things you'll notice, and I'm going to pull up my mentor's site, and that's Joel Comm, is that, number one, his site looks really fantastic. He's got great graphics, and he spent a little extra on, having this site look like $1 million. And I want to let you know that you can do the same darn thing. It's the same kind of marketing and strategies that Fortune 500 companies have been using forever. Whether it's Ford or Amazon.com, it's just good branding. And you'll notice he's got a picture of himself, and this goes right to exactly what Lisa was talking about by building relationships. And if someone gives you the time of day, if someone is online looking for some help, they want to entrust into a real human being. Nobody trusts, just little messages and spammy sites. So, I basically just made a plan to copy what the highest level players are doing. I went out and I spent several $100s on some professional pictures, and I just got them back, and they're like $1 million. And I'll be using those on my website now. I've also had someone working on a logo to basically make this site look awesome. Now it looks pretty darn good now, and it's just going to get better as I go forward. And I want you to think about copying the other people that are where you want to be. And everybody is doing this. I mean, I can't think of anyone who doesn't have a great site, a marketing blog that's at a really, really high space. Now, if I come here, where's my ridiculous? I want to see if I can find this kind of, and like you can see, I mean, literally, this is some of the stuff I'm doing today. So I posted a little meme, spring is almost here, and people see this and they want to learn more. They become your friend. They're on Facebook, and Facebook now is a place that I can use to drive traffic, and I have, and it's made me money. I want to show you something here. If I go to Tina, and it's so fun because I come up with these ideas, and I know they're awesome, not because I'm cocky or not because I'm full of myself, but I've just been at this game a really long time, and I understand what works. And I'm looking for like-minded people that share my viewpoints. And Tina posted something this morning, and literally, I had created a little graphic that I would use, and here it is, that I would use when the time was right. So she posted this, and the time was right. And I want to show you this right here. Okay, guys, it doesn't get any more real-time case study than what I'm showing you right now. So basically, here's Tina's message, okay? Her message is, when you truly love yourself, you can no longer accept abuse, neglect, or mediocrity those who love themselves will desire the best for themselves. So basically, it's just about, you know, pushing things that are negative away from you, hanging out with people that are positive. And I had created this little meme graphic last night, and it's got Brian Johnson written all over it. Now, it's a lyric from Prince, but it's just kind of fun and playful. I don't take myself too serious, and it's like, it basically says, you know, style, it ain't lusting after someone because they're cool. It's loving yourself till everyone else does too. So I posted that, and what happened was, you know, Tina said, this is awesome. We need to connect. I want to talk to you. I like what you're all about. Well, you know, I like what Tina's all about. I like what Lisa's doing, and Zane, and everyone on this Hangout, and this is just a really good example of good branding. And you know, if you look at this graphic here, it's a professional image. It cost me $100, $200 to have a bunch of pictures taken, but I've got these forever, and I can use them to move forward and brand myself. And again, I'll be using these same images on my marketing site, Marketing Easy Street, to brand myself and stand out. Now, another thing I want to do is I'm basically understanding where my customers are, and I'm showing up. Okay, so if you're online and you want to get results in 2014, it's your job to sit down and analyze where your potential customers are, and then make a plan for yourself to be there. So there are all kinds of people on Amazon.com, and they're trying to learn things like, you know, how to tie a tie, how to trade Forex, and they're trying to learn about self-publishing. And this is something that I made a plan 2 years ago to get into. Again, it all fits in with what I'm talking about. And at the time in 2012, my plan was to leverage Amazon because I knew I would make some residual earnings, which I am every single month. I knew I would be able to connect with people, and if you buy this book, it links them back to my website. And in the book itself, I'm also providing value. So people, you know, are finding this book. It's ranking well. I've got a huge promotion coming up in about a week, and this is again of really me being where the customers are, and this was my game plan for 2014. So now I've got Facebook working for me. I'm interacting with my peers. That's good for joint ventures. That's good for promoting my products. That's good for networking. That's good for affiliate sales. It's just pretty damn good. You need to be on some of the social sites. You don't need to be on all of them. You need to sit down and create that plan and understand where your audience is, and then you need to be where they are and make a plan. Don't try to be on Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook. Don't try to do a book all at the same time. Break it down step by step and continue to move forward, and you will get results. So I've got Facebook working. I've got Amazon working. Now let's go to YouTube. So like I said, I've been on YouTube for a very long time. Users, is it user or user? I think it's user. Brian on video. I think it's users. No, there it is.
Yeah, no, it's user. You're right.
So this is actually the first channel I ever created. If you watch my first video, it was filmed in 2007. It was not the greatest video. It was pretty bad. I read off a script, and I just practiced, and I got better at it. It goes along with what we've been saying the whole time. This particular channel is responsible for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars earned because I've taken the time back in the day to create tremendous amounts of videos talking about the subjects that I enjoy and teaching people along the way. Are we still okay? Someone interrupt me. I'm definitely on a roll, but are we still good? Is anybody here? Am I in a black hole?
No, you're still good.
You're
we can all
good.
see your screen,
You're good.
and yeah, lots of people
It actually
chatting.
is pretty quiet. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Zane or somebody, this is where you interrupt me and say, yeah, you're fine, dude, keep going.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear you anymore. Weird.
You can't hear us?
Okay, I saw a thumbs up. Someone give me a thumbs up. You can hear me? Okay, thank you.
we can hear you.
I'm going to keep mumbling.
Right, yeah.
Sorry for the webinar, but it's kind of what I do, and you guys won't, it's my thing, so I'll let you ramble your thing next time.
But
So
you
anyway,
can hear it?
back in the day, I knew that video was going to be powerful. I knew that it would be important. I didn't have any JV partners. I didn't have a list. I had a lot of knowledge about websites, driving traffic, so I started setting up shop, and I made YouTube my home. One of the things that I've learned now is that anybody can teach somebody how to install a plugin. Lots of people, not anybody, but let me rephrase that. Lots of people can teach SEO. Lots of people can teach Kindle marketing. Lots of people can teach somebody how to use social media. If you can incorporate your personality, if you can educate and entertain at the same time, you will be gold, my friend. So don't be afraid to fly your freak flag at full mast and wave it and strut your stuff and have fun. Is it a bit more scary? Sure, because you haven't done it yet. And does it get easier the more you do it? You bet. It's also important to really remember why people show up. They don't want Brian Johnson to entertain them with his amazing karaoke skills. They're here to get results. They're here to drive traffic. But if I can do that while also having the ability to teach at a high level and my students can get results and I can make them giggle along the way, it's money in the bank. So after I started getting some success, and sometimes I say sex when I try to say success, and again, that's funny. It makes people laugh. That's a good tip for you. You know, I had AV partners. I started making sales for other people. I took it to the next level, and I kind of went away. But now what I'm doing is I'm kind of launching this Marketing Easy Street, and it's abbreviated. And I'm working a little bit more on this channel, which I really appreciate. Zane kind of helped me set up. And the reason I had to get started with this channel is because, oh my God, it doesn't end. And this is why it's really important to prioritize your actions and understand you can only do so much. And if you try to overdo it, you're going to have a hard time. But I wanted my Google Plus channel to play nicely with my YouTube channel. And if we come in here and we take a look at my profile, and I hope this is helpful for those that are watching, you'll see if I click YouTube, I've got all these great videos that are on my channel. And these are the videos I filmed on my iPhone that I talked about later. They look great. These, and this is where it starts getting kind of fun. And I can't wait to teach this stuff at a real high level come fall 2014. I'm actually creating videos, including my book, back at Amazon, posting on Facebook, pulling everything together, using fun memes, and this is really what branding and marketing is all about. It's not about trickery. It's not about marketing in a vortex in an anonymous way that Elisa mentioned. It's really about getting out there, staking your claim, seeing that so many other people have achieved success, and getting a piece of it for yourself. So this is kind of what I'm working on. All of these things you can use yourself, and what you want to do is say, well, do I want to create a book? Yes or no? You know, maybe you don't. Maybe you think it's going to take too much time. Well, then maybe you should think about creating a video. You might think, well, gosh, Brian, I'm really nervous, and I don't want to put myself on video. Well, that's cool. Maybe you can do a screen capture. What you want to do is try to figure out how to say yes to the opportunity, and when you do that, you'll be saying yes to a great future. So that's kind of what I've been working on. It's been a lot of fun. I've actually got some proofs back of my logo for Marketing Easy Street, and we'll be kind of branding my site much as Joel has done, and you can see if you click on Facebook, you're taken to Joel's page, and it's got the same look and feel. And if we come back to his website, maybe if we click on YouTube, again, it has the same branding. I think this is the YouTube icon here. And this is what I'm doing. So the good news is that you don't have to figure this out on your own. You can literally...
Hey, it's Joel. You know, I've lived the entrepreneur lifestyle.
Okay, Joel. I know you have, brother, but I got to shut you down for right now. So you can find those people that are where you want to be. You can find the true players that are leading the charge. You can follow them, and in the process, you can get great results. I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to crash our hangout. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I hope that was helpful, you guys. It's a lot of fun. It takes. How do I get out of the screen share now, dude? Oh, there it is. I'm done.
There
you're
you
back.
are. You're back.
Welcome. It did.
You guys are still here.
Yeah.
And there's 8 people. I thought I'd still just be rambling and no one would be here. Oh, for
No, you're good.
God's sake.
So funny.
I'm
You're
so
right.
lovely.
You should totally be my first person since nobody has taken me up on the offer for the Kindle Cafe. One day I was listening to Zane in one of the trainings, and I got inspired to create a channel just for this community I have in Google+. And the idea was to interview other Kindle authors when they're launching their books to create content for the channel, and then, of course, you know, to double dip because it would be my affiliate link in Amazon redirecting them back to the book.
Ah.
Eleanor,
And no one has taken me up on my offer.
I told you I'm ready to rock and roll. We've got 58 messages. 7 people are here. The audience has been skyrocketing since we started. I've done a little math, ladies and gentlemen, and I've discovered that if we spend about 72 hours here, we'll have 187 people on our 132nd hour. So
Nice.
anyway, yes, Eleanor, just let me know when you want to do that, and we'll do that absolutely. Anybody else have anything they want to share? That's what I got. That's where I'm going. I'm really excited about you guys being here. I'm excited to hear about what you're doing. I love seeing your posts on Facebook.
Yeah. Well,
I did have something, and then I can.
No, go ahead, Lisa, please.
Go ahead. No, actually, what I was going to say is as you were talking, Brian, I had this like brilliant thought that was just so right in line with what you were saying, and it's totally gone now. So go,
Okay.
Zane.
All right, no, that's good.
I can't remember things very well, so if you like remember later, let me know, and I'll send it back to you. Zane, Brother Zane, did you want to say something, or Eleanor?
Yeah, it
Who
was
wants to talk through their mouth hole next?
It was it was that your point that you had made a little bit earlier was what I wanted to touch on when you said find ways to say yes to the opportunity. Because a lot of times, you know, people want to jump on the tactics, like give me the step by step. But sometimes you need to make that decision. You have to decide the steps. So if there's a series of steps that you need to take, but you're feeling intimidated by them, you may not have to do specifically what that step says. Maybe something a little bit close to it. Just find ways to say yes to the opportunity, because that'll get you moving and that'll keep you keep your momentum going as you build your business, which is what you really need. You need to be able to put some wins in the win column every once in a while to keep you moving forward. So I really liked that point, Brian. I've never heard that. Find ways to say yes to the opportunity, because it's just another way to trick your brain into doing work.
Lisa remembers what she wanted to say.
I did. I remembered. Brian, when you were talking about people doing, creating stuff, creating products that maybe have been done before, but they're putting their voice on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is something that is just not stressed enough. Because, like you said, I mean, an example that I use a lot is 3,000 people can have a basic WordPress course. But there are going to be people that resonate with you and your style of teaching, your style of talking, your style of being. And especially if you start branding yourself from the very get-go and people know exactly what to expect from you, if you're the one that they resonate with, it doesn't matter if there are 3,000 other courses out there exactly the same. They're going to buy from you. There's just, I think it's so important to teach people that, it doesn't matter if it's been done before, because if it's put into your particular voice, you'll have your tribe, you'll have your following. And that's why people like us are drawn to each other, because we have the same we're kind of cut from the same cloth. And so anyway, that was just a thought that I thought as you were talking is just so very important. To let people know that they can do it in their own voice with their own style, and it just doesn't matter if it's been done before.
Yeah, that's so true. It reminds me of a bunch of stuff. When I was mentoring Aiden Booth. Now, Aiden was a student of mine in 2009, and I knew instantly that this kid was going to go straight to the moon and do very, very well. And he started bugging me and asking me about creating a course. And I said, sure, I'll make time for you because I know my time will not be wasted. And we started getting into it, and originally the course was going to be on outsourcing. And then I just don't know if there's a big enough audience. People are trying to figure out just how to make a buck. And we kept having these meetings. And I said, I think you should do, how does Aiden Booth make money? How do you build websites? And he's like, but you've done that 2 or 3 times. And I said, Aiden, could you imagine if there was one chef that had created pizza and that was it? I mean, game over. Like, every city gets to have one freaking pizza shop in town and nobody else can open up a pizza shop? Forget about it. So, it's so easy to come up with a million reasons why your brain will shut you down. And what you need to do is you need to kind of reprogram that mofo upstairs because, they will talk you out of a lot of stuff that will be good for you. So you can come up with about a million trillion reasons on why you shouldn't, why it won't work, and all you need is one reason why it will. And don't worry about what the other people are doing. So, great point that you had there. Eleanor, did you want to share some wisdom?
I like how you said that, mofos upstairs, because those mofos do start getting in your head. But actually what I was going to say was earlier Zane was talking about the thing that I think, it's all Zane's fault that I love Google Hangouts and that I do them. He's like, yeah, it's all his fault. But there was one, in one of the courses that I was taking of his, there was somebody who was using it as an example. I can't remember who it was, but it's some guy who's an affiliate marketer, and he gets on and he does the Hangouts all by himself. So I will, if I don't have anybody to talk to, and because I have so many kids, I think I can do this. I can just kind of just start talking and keep on talking to the screen and just have a conversation with myself or share a sales page and have that conversation. And I know that has also helped my affiliate links. So, and with that being said, my goofy girls are here, and that's why some of the expressions on my faces I've been making. So they're getting restless and ready for me to jump off.
Okay. Well, listen,
but yeah,
just to jump in, guys, and I know we all have families.
But the affiliate marketing is awesome. So do a Hangout by yourself. You don't have to have somebody there. Is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is that the more you do it and the more you practice, the better you get at it. So you don't have to have a huge audience. Someone tell me how I view the viewers that are watching right now. There's 8 people, and there's 4 of us, so we have 4 other viewers.
Right. No, the viewers
9.
are just the viewers that you see are the people who are watching the actual YouTube video itself. It does not count us in here.
Okay. Can I see their names?
If you go over to the video itself, you can see who's written comments, but you can't see who's watching specifically.
I don't know. I feel so sad and lonely. Well, maybe they can leave comments.
No,
they
have been.
If you can say who you are and for the love of God, why are you here? Just say hi. I appreciate you spending time with us. I hope it was helpful. I had a lot of fun. It was helpful for me just to try this thing out, and that that's one of the things that really resonates is that none of us really know what the hell we're doing. Okay, like
except for Zane.
Zane's been doing this for a while. So
he's just from stumbling around in the dark for a while. I mean, there was a long time, right?
Yeah, exactly. You've been doing this for a while now, Zane. Now, this is my first official one, and it seems to be working, so that's cool. But I've never done it. This is the first time Lisa's done it. She's like, "Well, wait a minute. You're going to call on me?" And she did okay. Just try. I promise
I'm used
you.
to being on video. Actually, I expected to talk. It didn't blow my mind too terribly much. So.
All right, but I'm just thinking about the people watching this too. And of course, you know, you're going to be able to talk good with your mouth, Lisa.
Hey,
Did you want to say something? I know you said you got to get blazing pretty soon.
Yeah. My suggestion to anybody who's watching is make sure you subscribe to the channel and then circle us and connect with us in Google Plus and engage with us because it's a lot of fun. And if you want to hop on a hangout, just connect with one of us and I know Zane's always game. Here I am throwing him under the bus. But I can do that because he's my teacher. Yeah, just connect. You have a product, you want to be interviewed, let us know. We're good to go.
Awesome.
Subscribe.
Again, Eleanor, it's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon. I'm going to go hang out with my monstrosals.
Okay, good luck with the little monsters.
Yeah, I wish they were little.
Bye, Eleanor.
Bye.
How about you, Lisa? Do you want to say anything, any wise words that you've come across? What's the one thing?
Do the thing?
Did you see what I just did there?
You know, the thing is whatever the thing is for you. That's the beauty of it. Whatever the thing is for you. If it's a video you're afraid of doing, go and do it. If it's you know, writing some blog posts and you're afraid to do it, or like I said, doing video or creating a product or interviewing somebody, whatever that thing is for you, you got to go and do it. Nobody's going to do it for you. It's the only way.
Well said.
Good stuff. Well said, and it was fun to connect with you.
Yeah, you too.
Up in Minnesota.
Yeah, hey there. We're up here in Minnesota. It's real cold, and we got a lot of snow up here. And sometime we'll be able to see the ground, maybe in July. I don't know. But in the meantime, I got some casserole and we got some hot dish, and we're doing okay.
Okay,
don't ever talk like that again too long, okay?
Except say Pepsi. Just say Pepsi.
I went for a walk today and I was rocking Prince out. I wanted to hear his Emancipation album, but I settled for 1999, and that was hadn't listened to that album in a long time. I probably saw Prince about 20 times when I lived in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, real good.
See, don't get me talking with the accent, because then it sticks.
No,
I was born up here.
Yourself talking.
No, exactly. Once I start, like, if I start talking to my dad or something, it just seeps out of me, and I start talking. It's like Fargo all over again.
Indeed. All right, Zane, brother, and again, Lisa, thanks for hanging out and spending time. Maybe we'll do another one of these. If you want to do one of these with me, if you want to keep trying to figure this stuff out, I'm gonna keep doing these until people won't have me. So, something to think about.
I like where your head's at, Brian.
Awesome.
Okay, brother Zane, how can people get success? I mean, this is kind of stupid because they keep talking about all these things. Like, how can I make money right now?
How do I do the thing, right?
How do I know? No. How do I make money?
Oh, okay. Well,
right now.
Right now. Okay. Well, you need to do things like we're doing right now. Do the thing. Right? Like, look at my screen. You see all the people who have come in. I mean, there's 9 people watching right now from what you can see here, and 9 people are here, and they are just chatting away. Now, when this live hangout is finished, these will broadcast as regular comments on YouTube, which does amazing things for ranking. Which is why you can see, it's very good. So I wanted to constantly keep this conversation going. So I kept on adding comments and saying things, and right. So if you guys want to be able to see the same success, then you need to jump on these and communicate in real time through text, or like Brian did with me, asked me, hey, can you man the comments? And bingo, just like that. I mean, Brian, you tell me, when was the last time you saw this many comments on one of your own?
That's awesome. Hey, Sue, I know who Sue is because I built a relationship with Sue, and Mario run stuff for me. And there's Robert Howe. Robert Howe actually created some of my sales videos. So a lot of the folks that I've kind of built a community around are here, and it's really fun to have you guys. I don't know what the hell we're doing. I don't know how it works, and you don't need to know how it works either. You probably fly to get where you're going, and you don't know how it works, so just try it. If you guys want to book me for one of these, I'm game. So let's rock and roll and do this. And, man, I'm so grateful to Zane. I'm so grateful to Lisa and Eleanor and Brandy for coming out and spending time with me today and just giving this a whirl. You know, guys, there's never been a better time to get results in internet marketing than there is right now. I promise you. But you got to do it. And it's not hard, but it takes a bit of thought and it takes a bit of planning. And you might say, you know, I don't have $200 for those photos that you took, Brian. Well, you can do the best you can. You put out some information in your community. You send out some messages like, hey, I want to do an afternoon and get some photos taken, and I'm willing to help you. Can we do some bartering? Can I help you with something, and you can take some photos of me? Hire people on Fiverr to get stuff done. There's a lot of opportunity. This stuff is really fun, and it's really exciting. I can't wait to share more about what I'm doing. And I just thank everyone for spending time with us this afternoon. We went for 2 hours. That was awesome. Zane, thanks again. Lisa, I appreciate it. Brian G. Johnson, I didn't do it. See you soon.